Hello viewers, welcome to Dailies on TVRC. My name is Kolawole Itunoluwa Oluwabukola. Joining me on set is
Oyedo doing someone.
With me is a Punch newspaper.
And with me, I have Guardian's newspaper. Kano remains APC state, says Ganduje. Obi condemns Tinubu's comments that quote, Labour Party obedient with Labour till death. And the same front page of Guardian's newspaper this morning, man escaped death as two-story building collapsed in Lagos. And the same front page, Muslim ticket is work of God, says Adamu. And the same front page of Guardian's newspaper this morning, ASU strike, stop playing with the futures of youth, counters federal government. And the same front page, 165 naira petrol pump price no longer realistic, says major marketer. And I see here, Atiku, Okowa team unbeatables, says Bozimo, ex-police affairs ministers. And lastly here, on Guardian's newspaper, Bono youth back Shetima as APC presidential running mates. And these are some of the news that are making its reference the newspaper this morning. So, Miss Itunu,
Yes.
what's your take on this? ASU strike, stop playing with the futures of the youth. Cannot test federal government. Do you think that federal government is actually playing with the futures of the youth, considering the months that these students have spent at home?
Yes, they are. They are playing on the glory of tomorrow. Because I believe that the youth, the students, they are the glory of tomorrow. And when there is strike, when they are not going to school to learn one thing or the other, definitely they are at home. What are they doing at home? They are just sitting at home, doing nothing. So they are playing on the glory of tomorrow. So they should stop all the strike and they should continue with the academics.
Yeah, that should be directed to the federal government.
Yes.
Because a lot of things have been happening ever since this strike. Ever since the incidents of this ASU strike.
Yes.
Yeah. So what is your take on this? You know, we have been having this kind of building collapse in Lagos State far and wide. So this one says man escaped death as two-story building collapsed in Lagos. What do you think? What's your advice or what's your take to this to Lagos State in particular? You know, Lagos is prone to flood. You know, and saying this kind of story is not that really, but it's tragic. It's tragic. So what's your take on that?
Well, I think Lagos State is let me just say we have a lot of population in Lagos State, and I believe that the government should make sure that they handle this situation, and also the contractor, those people that are building houses, they should take note of this, because there are some places that they just build houses as if, probably because of the government, I think it's because of the government, because they don't really pay them. Because if you don't pay them, if you don't give them good money for them to build good houses, so definitely things like that will happen.
Yes, also I will give this to the contractors also, because most of the gadgets, most of the instruments they are using building in houses, they are not genuine again. They are not good. Imagine when the foundation is faulty. What do you think the roof will be? So okay, let me take this last one here. And I know you have something to say on this, because it affects the economics in general. So 165 naira petrol pump price no longer realistic. So what's your take on this? Because federal government on price control, federal government said that they should be selling it at the rate of 165 naira, but you know what is going on right now. So what's your take on that?
Yeah, there's something I want to say about this economic situation. I think concerning this fuel scarcity and all other things happening in this Nigeria as a whole, it's due to inflation. Because when we talk about inflation, it's something that results to persistent rise in something of goods and services. And for instance, the fuel, as at yesterday, as what I heard, it's 220 naira. So the fuel, the amount people are paying on fuel is becoming so so unbearable.
And people are even stranded.
People are stranded.
People are stranded because
Yes.
where you think that 20 naira or 15 naira, 100 naira will just take it, but when you get to the budge, it's just like maybe 400 naira or 600 naira. So profit is no longer flowing in. So
Yes.
people just okay. Thank you very much, Ms. Tunu. So this is what I have here. So let's see what you have
Yes.
here also.
On the Punch newspaper this morning, let Tinubu bear the burden of his choice. Also, drug abuse. Ikweze's wife engaged in advocacy. With me here, be productive, shun division, Taraba Emir urges subjects. Aregbesola factions bank on court to sack Oyetola. Also with me here, federal government meets IP man Mohammed for price arc imminent. Lastly, Lagos Ibadan gridlock worsening computers knock government contractor. Now, Mr. Samuel, concerning this Tinubu, he said let Tinubu bear the burden of his choice. What do you have to say about it?
You know, everybody is entitled to their own opinion, and this particular man let Tinubu bear the burdens of his choice. You know that if you make a right decision at some point, there will be consequences, and if you make a bad choice, it's also there will have the consequences of it. So, but in this case where Tinubu, we are talking about taking a Muslim ticket for presidential election. You know, a lot of things that will be going on and a lot of comments. Some are in support and some are not in support. But here, at the end of the day, if Tinubu wins the presidential election, now he bears the consequences of his of his choice. And if not, at the same time, if reverse is the case, he also bear the burdens of his choice.
So thank you very much. But in your own perspective, do you think Tinubu is capable of going for this presidential thing?
Yeah, you know, in Nigeria, the constitution lays down that you can vote and be voted for. So with this constitution overrule everything. No matter your gender, no matter anything. So when constitutions overrule, there's nothing like incompetency or competency. So it's based on the constitution, so everybody is entitled to it.
Okay, thank you. Now let's say something on this drug abuse. Drug abuse. Ikweze's wife engaged in advocacy. What can you say about it?
Yeah, you know, she engaged in advocacy because you know, this drug abuse is a thing that is now rampant among the youth nowadays, and it's destroying life. It's destroying life, and it's against the rule and constitutions of the country. And once you do this, you have to face the wrath of the law, the wrath of the constitutions. So she engaged in the advocacy. I think is a very good idea. The reason why is that you should throw more light, just do a lot of awareness for youth and those drug dealers that maybe this thing is not good, and give them all the bad effect, the side effect of it, so that they will be very aware that they are only destroying their future, and with this they cannot be used for the nation at large.
But do you think drug abuse can be eradicated in Nigeria?
Yeah, that's I can't say yes. Let's say it can be, but not thoroughly.
Not thoroughly.
Yes, not thoroughly, because the reason why is that, you know, this advocacy of a thing, you know, there are some things we call there is one thing called urban and rural areas. You know, but these people, they can only go to the urban areas, meet with the schools and the rest. What are those people in the village that they deal with drug abuse, smoke, Indian hemps, and the rest? So it can only be eradicated in some areas, but and in some other parts of the country, now the hands of these advocates cannot be extended to the area.
Okay, thank you very much. Lastly, on the Punch newspaper this morning, Aregbesola factions bank on court to sack Oyetola. What's your intake about it?
That's everybody is entitled to their own opinion. That's our own opinion. Let's leave it for the courts to judge.
Okay, we should leave for the court.
Yes.
All right, thank you, viewers. Here comes to the end of the Punch newspaper
And the Guardians.
And the Guardians. Welcome.
Do join us next time. Same station. Stay tuned. Bye.